What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Cross Pod. I'm D. Will here with my co-hosts Evan and Miles. Today is October 22nd, and we will be tier ranking each Western Conference team. Ev, you have the floor.
Yeah, so our tier list is pretty simple. Got four tiers. Oh my bad. Uh, just like ignore these East teams at the bottom. We're only doing West this episode, East next episode. So yeah, explaining our tiers. Tier one teams for us are teams we consider contenders. Obviously, they have a realistic shot of winning the conference and making the finals. Not necessarily winning, but making. Tier two are teams we consider that have a realistic shot of winning a playoff series, one or multiple, but just not good enough to make the finals, sort of fake contenders, if you want to think about it like that. Tier three, mediocre. This is our mediocre tier. Not bad, but not good enough to win a playoff series. And tier four is red, meaning it is bad. So bad teams go in tier four. Okay, this is a random order. We're going to start with the Nuggets here. Nuggets, I would say probably one of the harder ones on here. Uh, Obviously, they have the best player in the league, Nikola Jokic. He's in his prime. Uh, yeah, probably top 15 player, in my opinion, already in the history of the sport. This team is basically the same as last year. They just lost KCP. So Christian Brown's going to take those minutes. Murray had a very shaky Olympics and playoffs, honestly. He played, he obviously had those game winners against the Lakers, but other than that, he's pretty shaky. Yeah, and their team's pretty locked in. They locked in MPJ and Aaron Gordon, I think, today. So, yeah, their team's locked in for a few years now. So, this is really what you're getting. Is this team good enough to make the finals, though? I look at their depth. They they added Russell Westbrook. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more, but historically, he has not been a winning player. I wonder, what playing with Jokic will kind of do for him. Because if you just think about it, I don't think he's gonna close for this team. But if you have Westbrook and Jokic out there together, are you really letting Westbrook create something? And then we know that he's a zero off ball. So what's really what? I guess he could cut and stuff, but yeah, he's just not. We know about Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this Denver team's very thin. They got Strother off the bench, Hunter Tyson, Payne Watson, Sarge. This, yeah, it's pretty grim when it comes to depth. So, yeah, y'all kind of gotta help me out here. I don't really know which tier to put them in right now, to be honest with you. I can go either way with how I think.
Honestly, they have the best player in the world. To me, we're at a point where I'm not counting out Nikola Jokic, especially in the playoffs. So I will put them in the tier one just for that reason. I can definitely see Nikola Jokic going on a run and maybe not winning the finals, but definitely getting his team there. Just based off the fact that I don't see anyone in the conference that can match up with him.
Yeah, I probably would agree. Just because they have Jokic, who is the best player in the league. And though their bench isn't that good, they didn't the year they won the championship, they didn't really have a great bench either. Yeah, they had Bruce Brown, Jeff Green off the bench, but it was very thin. They ran 7 to 8 at the most in the playoffs. So I feel like if they were to make it to the conference finals, they could easily make it to the finals there. So I probably would put them in tier one.
Yep. My kind of thing is though that this was already one of the lowest 3-point rate teams last year and worst 3-point shooting teams last year, and they lost they're I guess best like pure shooter, I guess.
Yeah,
And they're replacing him with Christian Brown, who like
he's not a real shooter. Like
he's
he has a
not.
good percentage, but his volume is way too low.
It's like on two to three attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be playing like 35 minutes a game for this team. So I don't know. He's gonna have to play pretty good. I mean, he's a solid player. I like him, but yeah, I just think this team lacks talent. Yeah, so for now, we're gonna put Nuggets in tier 1. It's tough though. It's a tough one for sure.
Next, we have the Spurs. Obviously, they have Victor Wembanyama, somebody who I think could break into the top 10 this year, just based off like progression of. Like,
hold on.
What?
Not to cut you off, but you might. Okay, this might come off like a hate. This might come off as like some sort of hating take, but. And you might just say because the Hornets didn't get Wemby, I'm like kind of salty, but that's fine. Dude, the ESPN, bro, I saw some list where he was ahead of Anthony Davis, dude.
I saw that list,
bro. Okay, Wemby's definitely like top 30. He's not, bro. He's not top 15, bro. Or top 20.
You could argue he's top.
You could argue he's top 20.
He's just not. He's not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he's not.
Let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. You can't deny he's just as good, if not maybe you could argue he's a little bit better of a defender than AD is right now. You could definitely argue that. He was second in DPOY last year. Like you can argue that. And then offensively, sure, you could go with Anthony Davis, but in the long run, based off like how he plays and everything and his progression, I would take Wemby. So is it that crazy for someone to top 20? He's definitely top 20 to me because, yeah.
I personally couldn't name 20 players better than him.
Yeah, I can't name 20 players better than him. Sorry. No glaze. It's just what it is. Like,
hold on, let me pull this up real quick.
He's the future face of the league.
Absolutely, but he's just not better than Anthony Davis right now. Sorry. He's just
I want to say he's better.
I think AD's better. I'm just saying he's in that, like, he's almost there.
That was the list. It's top 100 players in the NBA. He's 11 on here. He's ahead of guys like, dude, Jalen Brunson. No way. Jaylen Brown, who just won Finals MVP. Devin Booker. Halliburton, just in Eastern Conference Finals. Donovan Mitchell. He's like all NBA, first or second team every year. Bam. Tyrese Maxey, that's close. Ja, he's not better than Paul George. Okay, I think he's better than Paul George.
Yeah.
So he's like 20. He's not top 10.
I didn't say top 10.
I wouldn't say he's top 10.
I didn't say
okay, but I see people like putting him there right now. He's not yet.
He's not top 10.
I'm sure he will, but
I'm saying by the end of the season, we could definitely see him closer to or breaking into the top 10.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And then also acquiring Chris Paul, obviously not the same Chris Paul that you'd want next to Victor Wembanyama, but still someone who can definitely get you 7 to 8 assists still, and who'll get Victor the ball. Like, he's going to get him the ball where he wants it accurately. And I just think he's going to help with, like, the ball movement on this team, because last year it was – I'm not going to say it was stagnant, but it was either getting the ball to Wemby or one of the Spurs guards just running just some dumb shit.
Dude, they had Sochan at point guard.
Yeah, like they were doing stupid shit. I don't know if that was Greg Popovich knowing that shit's not going to work and wanting to tank so he can get a high draft pick, or if he's just that like incompetent. But that was bad.
Yeah.
But hey, man. I've already seen clips this year. Wemby, he's getting mad that niggas aren't passing him the ball. So, like, that shit, that not passing Wemby the ball shit, that shit is over. It's over.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of tough because of how, like, deep the West is. Because I want to say that they can make, like, the play-in maybe, but I don't think they're going to make it realistically. I think Chris Paul is a good addition, obviously, but, like, how much, like, I don't think he makes them, like, that much better.
No.
Plus, he's 38, 39 right now. So
he's about to turn 39.
39. Okay. Well, yeah. So he's probably not gonna be playing that many minutes, anyways, because they still have Trey Jones in the roster, who's like he's a solid point guard, I guess. But yeah, I don't think like last year he came off the bench and he was a good backup point guard, but he was a good like a backup. So like as a starter in 2024, I don't think his impact is gonna be felt as much as people may think it will.
Well, let's be honest. This was an absolute like they were awful last year. Like the roster around Wemby was very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was bad. It looks like a little better this year. I mean, they got Harrison Barnes. We didn't mention that. Chris Paul, dude, he's washed. Bro, Chris Paul, is he even like a starting, like even like an average starting point guard anymore? I don't think he is.
He's probably a lower tier starting point guard.
He's a
bottom,
good backup.
He's definitely in the bottom third of starting point guards across.
He's a good backup, great veteran locker room presence guy.
Yeah, but he's gonna, bro. If they want to win, he's got to like become Chris Paul like 4 or 5 years ago.
What they know that they're not gonna get.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Vassell, he's fine. Sochan, fine. I like Trey Jones. Love Steph Castle. Their bench is rough though. Zach Collins, Champagny. Yeah, this is this is not a good team. I think for me it's tier 4. I think they are bad. They're not awful. They're just bad. That's my take. What do you guys think?
I guess if I had to do like a win total for them, I think they could reach like 32 wins, maybe. I don't know if that's high.
I definitely see an improvement from last year.
Yeah, definitely. But,
well, is Wemby gonna play like all 82 games? No.
I mean, last year he played like I think he was in like the high 60s to 70s. I think.
Yeah.
He was like pretty healthy last year.
Yeah. I mean, if he stays healthy, they won't have like a bottom 3 record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. Darren, you think tier 4?
I go tier 4 this year, but next year,
okay,
I see them making big moves. So we can go tier 4.
Tier 4.
Well, obviously the Clippers, they lost Paul George to the Sixers. But outside of that, they made some solid like signings and like trades, but like all of them, like all of those players are role players. Obviously none of them are on the tier like the tier of Paul George. But for what it's worth, they didn't like get significantly worse because they got like Derrick Jones Jr., Nicholas Batum back. Hate him or not, KPJ, who is a hooper, but he's still kind of ass. Shit, I don't remember who else they got. I guess they signed Kai Jones, who's like he's young.
He signed a crazy nigga.
Christ.
Yeah, but
a bald-headed crazy nigga.
Yeah, but just looking at the team, they're like a somewhat deep team. But the main issue is Kawhi Leonard's health. As of right now, he has no timetable of like return.
Nah.
So without Kawhi, this team is doomed. Even with Kawhi, they probably still would be, but at least they had somewhat of a chance. But like now, we don't know when he's coming back. All we really have is Harden leading the show, and then like a bunch of role players around him, which in 2024 is not going to work.
Not going to work now.
Yeah, it's not prime Harden, who was averaging 30 and 9 or whatever it was. This is low key washed Harden.
Oh yeah,
18 and 11 or something like that.
I can see like a 19 and 10.
Yeah,
with no Kawhi, like for that part of the season, I can see him averaging like 20, maybe 20 and 10. Like
I can see him averaging like close to mid 20s, maybe if there's no Kawhi, like 23.
Really?
I'd say yeah.
Really?
Around 23.
Bro,
hell no.
Bro, you know what's so funny, bro? No. I saw
I saw from a Sixers fan. Fuck no.
I saw Harden talking this offseason about how the heliocentric thing worked because Luka made the finals. It's just like Harden thinks it's like his time, even though he's washed.
Not his time.
It's so funny, bro.
Yeah. See what happens when they let you run the show.
Bro, what is his usage gonna be? Like, what's the number?
I don't even know.
It's gonna be up there, top 10 for sure.
The only other person you want like you would be comfortable with handling the ball is maybe Norman Powell on a good day. But
because
who else?
Bones Island.
But he should not even get minutes on this team. Realistically, I'd say I'd rather play Chris Dunn over him, which I forgot to mention. But this outside of Harden, this team is pretty cooked.
Put them in tier 3, man. Put them in tier 3.
Yeah, I don't think they're like.
Yeah, they're definitely not tier 4.
Yeah, I think
definitely not 2 though. So
tier 3.
I think easy tier 3. They're probably gonna be lower end tier 3.
Oh yeah.
We got the Mavericks next. Obviously, they have the big acquirement of Klay Thompson.
Big.
Like for them. That's their big offseason move, right?
He's a big name, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saying for them.
Yeah.
That's their big move.
You're good.
Yeah. And then acquiring other pieces like Quentin Grimes, stuff like that.
Dinwiddie, Najee Marshall.
Yeah. Those are all cool and everything. Still got PJ, which is PJ's a good player. Like he's a good player in the NBA. Someone I would want on a title team.
You'd want him on your team, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, starting at the 4?
Yeah, starting at the 4? Hell yeah, I like PJ. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I definitely don't think this team is going back to the finals. I'm sorry. I think that finals appearance was a byproduct of, 1, the Nuggets getting bounced in the second round, and then 2, just like when they played the Timberwolves, just Luka just being that much better than Ant, honestly. Like I think it was they got a favorable matchup, and that's why they went to the finals. In any other year, like I don't think that team is going to the finals.
Well, I mean, it's not like the West is like it's not like there's like any like crazy dominant team. Like the Nuggets, the Nuggets are still, like we just talked about, they're still like good, but like obviously they're still like a little bit worse than they were before, and they can still easily be taken out like before they meet the Mavs.
But the thing is, like let's say they meet up though, I'm taking that Nuggets team over that Mavs team, even with Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Just because what the fuck is Daniel Gafford gonna do? What is Derek Lively gonna do?
But who's
it's gonna be a worse version of the defensive game plan that they had in Minnesota, but it's gonna be with worse defenders.
But who's guarding Kyrie and Luka though?
I put AG on Luka.
I don't think they have the scoring to keep with the Mavs, to be honest with you.
Let Kyrie eat. Honestly,
no one's sticking with them. Honestly,
yeah. Well,
no one is, but no one's sticking with Jokic, and I
think they have a better chance at guarding Jokic than Nuggets do at guarding Luka and Kyrie.
Well, I have a regular season question. I know that's sort of not what we're tearing here, but is Luka gonna win the MVP finally?
I think he should, because I think he should have won it last year, and you could argue the year before maybe, but I wouldn't. You could argue though.
He is the odds on favorite.
He is. Everyone has him winning it, but like
he's my MVP for this year.
Again,
bro, people say that every year.
He was last year, and he should be this year.
When will you? Well, yeah, you could argue last. I think he should have won last year.
Yeah,
I think he should have won, but I don't know. It's just something like he either gets to a slow start or he's out of shape starting the season. Last year he didn't, which is why I thought he was going to win, because he came out the gates like. But
yeah,
they fucking gave it to Jokic. So I think Jokic is out for like the next 2-3 years of realistically winning.
I just don't think they're going to be like high up in like the standings enough for him to like get that many votes. Like I don't think they're going to be. You could argue they won't be a top 3 seed this year.
It would take Jokic averaging like 30 plus, not maybe a triple double, the Nuggets are a 1 to 2 seed, and he's good on offense, like not just analytically, like
defense.
Yeah, defense. Not just analytically, but like also with the eye test.
Yeah,
that's what it would take for a 4th MVP.
Even then,
and even then, if Luka has like anywhere near what he did last year, I would still take Luka.
Honestly, if Shea does what he did last year too, he's still out. He still beat Jokic too. What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, bro.
A 30-point per game score on a 60-win team.
To me, Shea was in the top 3 because Embiid was gone.
What?
And we all know if Embiid's not hurt,
he literally played second last year.
We all know if Embiid plays last year, he runs away with that MVP. Maybe unanimous, low key.
No, but why are you saying Shea wouldn't be in the conversation?
I'm not saying he wouldn't be in the conversation.
You just said he wouldn't.
No, I'm saying honestly, I think Giannis is going to be higher up than Shea this year.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I think
the Thunder are going to win we haven't get the Thunder yet. They're going to win at least 60 games.
I think so. Yeah,
I have a lot to prove.
Sure, but we'll get to the Thunder.
Yeah.
Mavericks. I will say one thing. The Luka, Kyrie, Clay lineups do scare me because none of them play defense.
At all.
Yeah.
If you weren't aware, Klay Thompson is absolute zero on defense now. He used to be like one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Yeah. Not anymore. He's
not bad.
I kind of think of is he gonna be like a Miami Ray Allen kind of?
He said that's what he wants to aim towards, but I don't think he's that far gone. I think he can.
I think he'll be like okay, fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay on defense. Like people just overrated it because of the drop off. Like he went from an all defensive guy to like
average at best,
which with those injuries, like I can't really blame him. So.
Yeah, like he just like struggles to move like laterally, also fight over screens. But he's still like a big body. Like he's not huge, but like he's sturdy. It's like he's
his
not
body build.
Yeah, like he could guard like a wing who's like not that fast or anything.
Yeah,
he's definitely not like a zero on defense.
Low key, that the fact that he's not on the Warriors anymore like makes me like him like 100 times more.
What?
So I'm actually like rooting for him now.
I kind of
even though he chose that like nasty number 31, which is like nasty. I think they're tier 1 though.
Yeah. Why do you look like that? You don't agree?
I'm outvoted anyways. Just
are they ahead of Denver or no?
No.
What do you think, Miles?
I
think they are. I think
really.
They're probably like neck and neck. You could. I'd go ahead, I guess.
Have we lost this much faith?
They did just make the finals, so I think they get the slight nod.
Yeah.
Have we lost this much faith in like Jokic's ability to carry a team?
No, just the entire
their team isn't good, dude.
Like this team is not the same as it was last year, or was it 3 years ago, or 2, whatever it was when they won.
Dude, if Murray doesn't get back to like at least All-Star, like this is.
But I think he will though. That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
But like
it was just like weird. Like he was so bad in the Olympics.
Yeah, he was really bad. I was like, that's low-key why I feared Canada a little bit. Cause I was like, damn, they got Shea and Jamal. But the way he played, I was like, shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next in line, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. Another tough one for me. This is a good team. I will say that. This is a good team. They still have, in my opinion, a top 5 player and a top 10 player still on their team. JJ Redick will certainly be an upgrade over Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
Which isn't saying much, but I was like really impressed though what I saw in preseason. Just the Lakers having way more structured offense in regard to running sets and plays more consistently, which you saw last year when they actually did that. They were one of the best. I mean, they were elite offensively. That's why they went on that run sort of at the tail end of last season. So yeah, running more plays more consistently, more off-ball movement, not just guys watching LeBron and 80 pound the ball for pause pound for pound for like uh 10 to 12 seconds and just standing around. It's just so aggravating to watch. Hopefully there's less of that. I think there will be under JJ. They're using AD more as a passer, which I love. They're back screening more for the guards, which sets up cuts for the wings, which I also love. And I think, simply put, their pick and roll schemes just way better than last year. So their team's good. They have better offensive architecture than last year. But with that being said, when we talk about like making the finals, I really just don't see. I've said this before. Like they just don't really have the horses to get there. I mean, LeBron would have to play. Well, probably AD as well. Like exceptional basketball to get there. The West is just loaded. Like
AD would have to elevate to like top
I mean,
five, six players.
he did play really good against the Nuggets last year, but in the fourth quarters, like they just didn't give him the ball. So yeah, and then he got hurt in the last game, which don't even get me started about. But yeah, for me, it's tier 2. What do you guys think about the Lakers?
I actually agree. Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's like they have LeBron and AD who are both top 10 players still. So like with that alone, I feel like they can still get there. They pretty much have the same team as they did like last year.
Yeah.
I think Gabe Vincent could be a good or bad wild card for them.
Yeah, they only lost Torian Prince last year, and then Gabe didn't. He barely even played last year.
Yeah.
Well, and then they got Dalton connecting Bronny, I guess. Dalton honestly, based off the preseason, should get some like solid bench minutes. I think
he's nice.
Yeah, I know. Really, he's probably. Would you say he's their best? Their best 3-point shooter besides D'Lo.
Will he be their best? He wouldn't be their best volume 3-point shooter though.
Their best like pure like shooter like off the catch.
I mean, yeah, but that's like all he's really gonna do, or mostly.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Well, last year they honestly, if they didn't run
into Brown's their best shooter. Like,
I mean, I guess yeah, he shot 49.6 last year or whatever it was, but yeah, but he's gonna be more of like going downhill. Actually, no, you're right. He might be shooting more this year just because he's older, put less tear on his body. But yeah, like last year, if they didn't run into the Nuggets, like if they ran into like the Thunder, maybe the Timberwolves, they
Thunder
probably
for sure they're beating them.
They probably would have like made it to second round, and then from there, who knows like what they can do. Like they could have beat a team like Dallas, honestly. But yeah, so like their team isn't that much like different from last year. So I just like you said, Evan. I don't think they have like just the capability of making it that deep in the playoffs. Like LeBron's the oldest player in the league, so he'll obviously be like tired and stuff by the time he gets there. AD could be injury prone, so who knows with that. So, but I think they're like not too far off. But yeah, I agree with tier 2.
Darian,
I agree with tier 2. You guys already hit most of the points. I just don't think they have enough to get there, but they're definitely good enough. Bron is still a top 10 player to me, as well as AD. So, yeah.
Yeah, one more thing, like this team's margin for error is very like slim. So if like AD and LeBron get hurt, if either one of them get hurt, like They're probably gonna be in the play-in again.
They might be, yeah.
Yeah, the West is really good, man. So yeah, tier 2 I think is fair for Lakers.
The Pelicans are in a weird position. Obviously, they don't have a center besides like Daniel Tice, and then their rookie, I think his name was like Yves Missy or something like that. Neither of them are like great floor spacers. Daniel can shoot a three, but like you don't want him spacing out your floor or being like a reliable shooter on the floor, and he's also only 6'8". But the overall talent on this team is still really good. It's probably in terms of like overall talent on a roster, probably the most talent they've had on the team in like the Zion era. But the fact that they don't have like an interior presence that they can play like at least like 25 minutes a night.
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's a problem. And the reports are saying Herb Jones will be the starting five, which I don't really like that at all.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, he's only 6'7" and he's pretty skinny. But the other thing is that eliminates like his best attribute, which is like his perimeter defense. So he's going to use as like an interior defender or a help defender.
That's a great point.
Perimeter. So that I don't really like that. And then that also just has like that just means they have to rebound more. Ask for like Zion to like crash the boards more, which he hasn't shown to be really good at it. Like he's only averaged like 5 rebounds last year. So yeah, I think they have too many issues for me to put them like too high. I kind of want to put them. It's close between tier 2 and tier 3. If they're in tier 2, they're at the bottom. But if they're in tier 3, I think they're at the top.
You think they can win the playoff series?
Depends on matchups. Like if they don't play a team like the Lakers or the Nuggets.
Yeah, but they're like most likely going to be like a lower seed.
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to think who would be like a top seed that they could match.
Like OKC, Dallas, Minnesota, Denver, Phoenix. They're not being any of those teams, dude.
Phoenix, I don't think Phoenix is crazy. I think they have a chance against Phoenix, maybe, but other teams, I don't think so.
It's really just how good Zion really, because we haven't seen Zion in the playoffs yet. It depends on if Zion elevates. Yeah. If he can elevate, then to me they're tier 2.
Maybe, yeah. But also, I forgot Trey Murphy is also still injured. I forgot what the injury was, but he'll be out for some time. And then you also don't know what you're getting from Brandon Ingram because I mean he what is it? Because he did struggle in the playoffs last year. He was being guarded by Lou Dort, and he was like the clear one option with Zion out. But you don't know how he's gonna play with like a roster like this. So obviously there will be more space on the floor with like Zion at center, but yeah, I don't know.
For me, the Pelicans, I agree with most of what you guys said. Zion does look in great shape. Best he's looked probably in 2-3 years. They did well. You guys didn't mention they got DeJounte Murray, which is like an interesting fit with him and McCollum. I don't really know how to feel about that.
Helps him defensively, I guess.
He's not, dude. DeJounte, I don't know.
He's kind of still going.
He's overrated on defense. I'm saying.
Yeah, he is, but at the same time, like he had to make up for like probably one of the bottom 5 to 3 defenders in the league being Trae Young, which CJ McCollum isn't a good defender, but he's much better of a defender than fucking Trae Young. So
yeah,
true. The thing that's kind of like weird though is they tried to trade Brandon Ingram all offseason. Nobody really wanted him, and now he's just there. So that's awkward.
Yeah.
They don't have a center. Zion played 70 games last year. Is he doing that again?
Hey, if he's in better shape than he was last year, I'm not gonna say 70, but I'll definitely say 60 to 65. I can see.
Nah, he's averaging like 50 in his career, so
yeah.
That's where I'm like, is he gonna play 70 again? They're probably gonna be a playing team. I think this is pretty easily a tier 3 team for me.
Really easily.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like it's easily tier 3, but yeah, it's like heavily dependent on matchups. I think.
I think they're better than the Clippers though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We can go tier 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Under one of the easier ones on here, I would say. They added Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein. They have, they traded Josh Giddey, who we know what he was like last year in the playoffs, at least. They addressed their biggest issue, which was their rebound rate being so low. I don't think Hartenstein's like crazy, but he's really solid, man. He's a good player.
He definitely filled the hole in one of their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Probably, and their biggest weakness.
Yeah, because sometimes they would just get just horsed. They just didn't have the mass to deal with these bigger teams. But now they can run Chet at the 4, which I like. Yeah, they have a really good starting 5, good bench, a lot of durable players. They're going to be one of the, I don't know, top 3 or 5 defensive teams in the league this year. Shea for me is a top 6 guy. He'll probably jump a few guys this year, honestly, for me. And they kind of feel like the Celtics last year, where they can go big, go small. They just have. I mean, it's an incredible team. Sam Presti is a generational GM, I would say. And he's awesome. Best GM in the league.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Obviously,
tier 1.
Yeah, obviously they're going tier 1. They were the 1 seed last year in the West, with Josh Giddey in their starting lineup, and they got rid of him and replaced his production with Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein, which they're both by far better players than Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso is arguably top. I'll say he's a top 3 perimeter defender in the league right now. Isaiah Hartenstein was like a pretty great interior defender last year, while also being a solid passer. This team has little to no weaknesses. Isaiah is the only weak 3-point shooter on the team. Everybody else is at least solid. And then defensively, nobody on this team is also necessarily bad. I'd say Isaiah Joe is probably their worst defender that gets actual minutes, but he's still an average defender.
Yeah.
And even though he's still also a top 10 3-point shooter in the league as well. So yeah, this team is close to Boston in terms of having being able to play different, play everybody whenever. Very, very, very deep team. And also they're very young, so they're probably all gonna stay pretty healthy, I think. Isaiah, he did have an injury in the preseason, which will hold him out for at least the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season. But I don't think that'll affect them at all. At least not in a major way. But yeah, tier 1 for sure.
Should they be the favorites in the West?
I think they're my favorites personally.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it's as big as a gap as everybody's saying. Because everybody's saying they should just run through the West, which I don't think is necessarily true. But yeah, they're still my favorites though.
This team goes as far as Shea takes.
He played really good last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I have them as my favorites, and they're tier 1 because
they in my opinion they do need one of either J-Dub or Chet to step up offensively. Because last year it was a lot of just Shea. J-Dub struggled a little bit. Chet wasn't really that great offensively in the playoffs. So if one of them can be a consistent second option where you can give them the ball and they'll give you a bucket. I think that'll I think that'll make them a finals team.
I agree.
Tier 1.
All right.
Grizzlies. This team is expected to be very, very, very good this year. it's really just they're healthy now. Specifically, John Morant coming back from the suspension, and then he played those 9 games, and it low-key looked like he was about to turn their season around. And this team, I think they're in a clear tier for me. Like Ja's a top 5 point guard in the league.
Yeah,
he's a top 5 point guard in the league, and then he's just surrounded by you got
Smart.
No, I was just thinking like this team's biggest weakness is their second star offensively is just not there for me at least. Like Jaren is not there offensively for me. Like yeah, he was good offensively this year, but it wasn't as efficient, and it was like because Ja wasn't there. So. Yeah. For me, they're tier 2 because they're like a very good team. They can push a lot of these other top teams, but I don't think they're good enough to get to the summit for real.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, if anything, I think people have been underrating the Grizzlies because I've seen them as low as like in terms of like rankings, like of them not even making the play-in, which I think is crazy. I think they should at least be like in my opinion, I think they're a top 8 team in the West, at least, but. Yeah, because this team isn't too different from the team that got them as the 2 seed or 3 seed like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think this team is like too much different. They only thing like major difference is like they lost Dylan Brooks and
Gigi
and Tyus Jones. What do you say?
I said they have Gigi now though.
Oh yeah, but like in terms of like their perimeter defense, yeah. But they only lost Dylan Brooks and like Tyus Jones, and then like now they have. Yeah, they have Gigi. They drafted Zach Edey. Yeah, those are probably their main additions. And they have Marcus Smart too. But, yeah, I think their main issue probably right now is their three-point shooting because outside Desmond Bane and then, like, Luke Kennard, I guess, those are, like, really their only good three-point shooters on the team.
Their third best shooter.
What?
Who's their third best shooter? Is it Gigi?
It's probably G. You said who?
Kennard.
No, I already said Kennard. I was saying.
Oh,
Kennard.
I was saying their third best shooter.
It's probably Gigi.
Gigi.
But yeah. You shouldn't. I don't think you should rely on a second-year player who last year he was good, but he also like was taking a lot of shots with Ja out.
Yeah.
So with Ja back, he's going to be in a much more reduced role. Probably not take as many shots, a lot more off the catch, probably. So, yeah, it's tough. I'll put them in tier 2 just because I think they're still close to the level of team they were 2 years ago. I don't think they've fallen off. And if anything, Desmond Bane's gotten a lot better since then.
Definitely.
Jaren's gotten some reps as a more like on-ball player. Even though he wasn't necessarily like good offensively last year, he still got the reps. And who knows? With John next to him, he can still get easier opportunities. So,
what does your guy Zach Edey take?
I think, I just think he gives them another like offensive option. Like, first of all, he's a good rebounder, so that feels like the old role of what Steven Adams used to have on this team. But outside of that, I think he can be. Outside, like he's a big body. He's 7'4". I don't know how much he weighs, but I know he's like he's pretty heavy.
He's huge.
Yeah. So like that alone will make him a positive that alone will make him a positive defensive player on the team. They still have like Jaren like as a help defender next to him. So, but like offensively, I think he's like a capable scorer who can take like he can take advantage of like mismatches. Which a lot of like the players are gonna be mismatches because like he has that post hook, which is like hard to block or like contest because he's 7'4" and has a high release point. So I think he's gonna be a positive player in his rookie year, whether or not he like gets like a lot of minutes or I don't know a reduced role maybe.
Well, he's gonna start. I guess more like what I'm curious about is like, are they actually gonna like feed him in the post constantly? Because that's his game. Like that's what he was doing at Purdue.
Yeah,
that's how they made the championship game. They didn't win, but their offense was just give it to him in the post, and they double and he kicks it out. So I don't like. I get like NBA. We don't. I think Jokic led the league in post ups last year with like 8 a game or something. So it's like posting up is very rare in today's NBA. So I'm curious to see if they'll actually do that. You'd have to be pretty good for like. You'd have to be mad efficient on those.
To justify giving him the ball.
Yeah. And he can't shoot. But yeah, I think I like it. I think he's good. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Memphis is tier 2, like you guys said.
Yeah.
Ahead of the Lakers?
No.
Nah. I think if they played each other, I would take the Lakers.
Yeah.
Good take.
Phoenix, I think this team is like a good bit better than they were last year. Obviously, they made addition of Tyus Jones, Monte Morris, I guess Mason Plumlee as a backup center or whatever. And then they drafted Ryan Dunn, who I really like. He's a defensive player, but his major weakness was like coming into the draft was his 3-point shooting, as he wasn't that good in college. But in the preseason, in the minutes that I've watched him, like in the minutes I watched him play, he looked like really comfortable shooting the ball. Even though it wasn't the greatest percentage, it still looked like it was better than college, and it was also on like a good bit more attempts. But even just like his form looked really good. Like I actually like his form. Like I think with that form, he can develop into like a good shooter, like pretty quickly, I think. So with like him possibly being like, if not their best, their second best like defender or most important defender on the team, I think he could play a significant role. Just as like maybe a starter. I don't think I'll start him right away, but maybe like later in the season he could be a starter on this team. But yeah, who knows? And then Tyus Jones just being a solid point guard who can give KD and Book the ball when they need it and where they need it. Someone who can like actually like run the show. Yeah, I like the Tyus Jones addition. I don't know if it makes them like too much. Like I don't know if it makes them too much of a better team
than last year.
Yeah, than last year. Just because they have a pretty similar team. I said the additions they added, but like outside that, their team is pretty similar. But who knows? Maybe the addition of Mike Budenholzer will be like an actual difference. But yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'd probably say they're tier 2 because I can't see them like I can see them winning like a first round or maybe a second round. But yeah, definitely not tier 1.
Based on matchups, I can see them.
Yeah,
I agree with their point about the roster. I will say like Vogel's like a good NBA coach. He was a bad fit on the Suns team last year because he was a defensive guy and
they didn't have defenders.
Yeah, it was just an awful defensive team. I think Budenholzer's a way better fit though. They're going to play into getting up threes. I mean, they're going to be probably, I don't know, probably top 3 in 3-point rate. They're going to be a really good 3-point shooting team. They still have Nurkic as their center, though, so their defense isn't going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
That makes a clear cap to their team.
Yeah. The fact that they got Tyus Jones is pretty incredible, though.
For very cheap, too.
Yeah, because they had like no cap or anything, and they got Tyus.
For like $2 million a year or $3 million a year or something.
Yeah, it's a steal.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good team.
Yeah.
Like Nurkic is like really the thing though that puts the ceiling on it for me. If they had like Bam, this would be a tier 1 team.
I mean, yeah.
He is an all-star like caliber player.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying if they had like a better center, that would be tier 1
or a more versatile center because Nurkic is just.
Well, what if they got like
I was gonna say, what if they got Jarrett Allen?
That'd be way better.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a tier 1 team to me.
He might be on the block too.
That's what I'm saying. They might, but what does Phoenix have that the Cavs will want for real? Like they have no draft capital. They have no assets that they would give away. Like
Not really,
unless they want to rebuild.
It would have to be like a three-team trade.
Yeah. But I don't know.
It would have to go like really badly for Cleveland for them to just trade Jared Allen at the deadline.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Cavs next episode though.
But I think Tyus is he's just gonna be that connector on offense. That's just gonna make everything easier for those three guys. Like the year prior, it looked like it was so much harder to just get them to their spots, and like felt like it just stopped them from setting up the offense. Now, like they have a guy who can just set everything up and just make it just run more smoothly, I guess. Because Devin Booker as your point guard, it was cool. Like, yeah, he's a good facilitator. He was fine, but I think it's going to be a clear difference, especially like in how smooth their offense looks this year. Yeah, they're tier 2 to me.
Are they ahead of the Lakers?
I would still take the Lakers, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking at Nurkic and Mason Plumlee.
Yeah. That's really the only reason. Like, I just see
AD, bro. AD. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
AD's killing.
Yeah.
Timberwolves. If you would have asked me this question a few months ago, I'd have a different answer. But based off a recent trade, these guys have dropped off for me. I'm sorry. Take it as someone I'm not a Knicks fan, but I have relatives who are diehard Knicks fans, friends who are Knicks fans. So like, I know a lot of like Julius Randle, he's really the difference maker, and also the loss of Dante as well. And then after the trade, they said they're trying to maximize their championship window with Ant, but you're doing just the opposite. Unless you're going to find a trade for Julius Randle that's going to get you back something that's going to either a player or a package of players that's going to like mesh well and also maximize Ant. No, you have not. You didn't win the trade, and it's just bad.
I have a counter.
Okay.
Because I think, well, you're talking about the trade. I think both teams won the trade because the Timberwolves obviously saw Cat in the playoffs, and they're like, we cannot pay this dude long term, this amount of money, and think we're going to win championships.
Let's say they want to keep Julius, which, to your point, they could not want to keep him and just want to use this year. But let's say they want to keep him. He's even worse of a playoff dropper than Cat is. Like, Cat was still serviceable in different ways, like even when his offense wasn't working. Like, bro, Julius Randle, he's like a notorious, like, he's a real playoff dropper. Like, he's like at least Cat has some intangibles to like make him effective, so you can keep him on the floor. Like how they had him guarding, how they used him to defend Jokic. You can't do that shit with Julius Randle. You're gonna get.
He's also like a clear threat. Like he shot 40 from 3 on like 4 or 5 attempts this year. So like
Julius Randle is extremely streaky of a shooter to be pairing up with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
and also his game. If you want to maximize him, you can't maximize him and Rudy Gobert at the same time because of the way like they play. Like it's just funky offense.
So you're down on the Timberwolves?
Yeah, compared to last year, or like compared to if they never made the trade, I'm down on them.
So what tier are they?
They're tier 2.
Yeah,
because I still think Ant is good enough of a player to win you a playoff series or 2.
I agree. I think they're tier 2 also.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think they're tier 1.
Really?
Yeah. I just think about well, it's really just Naz Reid. Like having him, just more Naz Reid in general. I think he's a really good player. So you're getting you're getting rid of Towns, who already wasn't playing in your closing minutes in the playoffs. Well, especially in that. Dude, he was awful in that Mavericks series, bro. He was awful.
Really bad.
He was awful. So you just get rid of Towns. You have Nasri in those minutes. You get DiVincenzo. You have Dillingham, who I didn't really know what to think about him in the draft, but I think he's effective.
He'll be impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last year the Wolves were 10 games above 500 when Towns didn't play. When he was hurt. So I still think they're like a great team.
You're just forgetting that you're inserting Julius there instead of Cat.
I think Randall's good too in the regular season.
Good. He is good, but I just think his play style doesn't mesh well with how they ran their offense last year.
Yeah, he is like yes. That is one. See, this is where I'm kind of confused because I think about how Edwards plays and how he's kind of ball stoppery. He's great, but he's a ball stopper. They're both. I don't really know about that fit.
Yeah,
which is kind of tough.
Julius is like a heavy ISO player too. So and off ball, he's a capable catch and shoot player, but you don't want him being a catch and shoot player.
No.
You want him having the ball most of the time, going downhill. And then at the same time, Julius also isn't a good off ball player. So you don't want him just sitting in the corner. And then they're gonna sag off of him, help him the paint, and then make it hard for Ant.
Yeah, I just think if Randall's like really struggling, you just put Nas in there.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's look at like their lineup for this year. Like Mike Conley, obviously aging. I still think he'll be a good point guard. Would they want to start Dante, or would they rather like just bring him off the bench?
I think they're bringing Dante off the bench. I think it would be the same as last year, just replacing Cat with Julius.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna bench Julius Randle, and then same with Mike because he's like Julius team.
And then another like question I have for the Timberwolves, even before the Cat trade, was Ant's just, I guess playmaking, but just like his just decision making it was really iffy, and it really showed itself in that Mavs series, just like him making the wrong pass or just making the wrong decision offensively. Also, like cheating for passes, trying to cheat for passes, and it not ending up well. I think it could have improved over this past summer, but that was a big question mark I had before, and then now like with him having to step up as a playmaker even more, I don't know. They're tier 2 to me.
Well, I just think if they played Denver again, they would definitely have a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
So
it'd be way harder though.
All right, let's look at the list. If we have Denver tier 1, then I don't see how Minnesota can't be tier 1 too.
I just think it'd
be
harder.
I can't see the Wolves making the finals. Like, so say they don't match up, or say that say the Nuggets don't get matched up with the Timberwolves. Like, say the Timberwolves get taken out before they would match up. I think the Nuggets would probably be more likely to beat the other teams and make it to the finals than if the Timberwolves make it past the Nuggets again. I think they'd get eliminated by the Thunder, or maybe the Mavs again too,
or even the Lakers, low key.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, it would be tough for them to make the finals. I can't lie. Edwards would have to play ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's that caliber of player yet, and I don't think he will be this with the offense the way it is right now.
I think they'll be like a top 3 seed though.
They could be, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If Julius is Julius in the regular season, I could definitely see them having regular season success.
Are they ahead of Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put them ahead.
Yeah, I like that. I agree with that. Okay, cool. See, y'all talked me off the ledge. I was tier 1, tier 2. Y'all convinced me. Good job.
The Warriors, they're hard to gauge because obviously they lost Clay and Chris Paul for absolutely nothing. They did bring in a lot of role players: D'Anthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, I guess. Probably a few more I'm forgetting about. So like if anything, you can say this team's depth is actually like pretty good. But I think this year will be like a kind of a struggle for them. One, offensively, Steph is the only like good shot creator. Outside of that, you have Kuminga who can he's a good slasher.
And Pods.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not that high on Pods personally.
I just mean among the team players.
On the team, sure. I still think Kuminga's a better like shot creator than him, just because he's better against the rim, better finisher. But I don't think like someone like Kuminga, I don't think he can be the second best like offensive option on a playoff team. Honestly, he could be the third maybe. So that's why like if like in the offseason when they were trying to get Paul George and Lauri Markkanen, they would have been like, I think they would have been a solid like playoff team then. But without them, it's kind of difficult to say that they can be. But at the same time, I know it's just the preseason. They did look pretty good in the preseason. Like their ball movement was really, really good. D'Anthony Melton and Buddy Hield played really good. Yeah, their defense also I think is pretty underrated. Like just in terms of like the personnel they have on the team. Like Wiggins, he struggled last year defensively. So he wasn't as good as he was the year they won the championship, but he's still like a capable athletic wing who can play defense. Still have Draymond, obviously. Still have D'Anthony Melton, who's a good defender. Kyle Anderson's a good defender. Really, their only like weak defender is probably like Buddy Hield, and then like Steph sometimes, I guess. But
okay.
But yeah, I'm not too high on the team overall, mostly because of their offensive like ability. With only just Steph, really, I'll probably go third tier.
Yeah, if Steph, I mean, he's got to play all year, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
no he's gonna have to play like he did in 2021 if they have a chance of making the playoffs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I guess like my question, like
36.
Huh?
Is he 35 or 36?
36.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
He's getting up there.
Making Steph fucking play that much. That's.
I guess like what is their plan? Like I don't.
Yeah, they have no plan.
And then they were talking about like not that they're not going to extend Jonathan Kuminga, and so they'll be free agent next offseason. So
are they ahead of the Clippers or Pelicans?
I'll put him ahead of the Clippers, but below the Pelicans.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
They just I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
at the same time, I don't like the Lauri trade. The Lauri trade at best would have maybe put him in. I don't even know if I would have put them in tier 2 with the Lauri trade. Like
no,
anything, I put them at the top of tier 3. Because yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not even like fun to hate on the Warriors anymore, which kind of sucks. They're just like, ugh. Damn. I got 10 years out of it. It's over now. It wasn't 10. It was like 6 or 7 years there. I mean, they were the villains of the NBA. Let's be honest, bro. Come on.
Up until 2019, yes. Yeah.
If they weren't in the picture, LeBron would have at least 8 championships. But that's a conversation for another day. Houston, they add Reed Shepherd, who I really like. They have an extremely fun roster. They're loaded with young guys. I think they'll definitely be like better than last year. I think. With just all their young guys developing and a Shepherd who's going to help a lot. The Rockets did look good without Şengün last year. So that's like kind of an interesting thing. I guess he's their best player, but
to me he is.
I like Udoka as a coach. And I sort of trust them to figure out, like, they have a lot of like guys to look at and play. So I guess I sort of trust them to figure that out. Eventually, it'll probably take Like the first month might not be great for them, but eventually their young legs will win them games. Uh, Jabari Smith, to me, he's better, but he's not special. He's like a fine role player.
He's a good his peak to me is a good 3-and-D player.
Yeah, but they took him top 3.
Happens sometimes, I guess.
Hey, the Magic are lucky they didn't take him 1.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Oh my god, damn, that'd be a shit show.
But yeah, when it comes to winning a playoff series, they're just not good enough. I'm sorry, not now. So they're tier 3 for me.
Yeah.
But when I look at this, are they better than the Warriors? I don't know.
I don't know. They're very close. Honestly,
I'd say they're between the Warriors and the Clippers.
Yeah.
I like this team though.
Yeah. They're really fun. They have like a lot of just crazy athletes on their team, like Jalen Green,
Whitmore,
Men, and then I'm looking at his name
as well. Cam.
Yeah, Cam Whitmore. That's what I was thinking of. Like they just have like a bunch of crazy athletes, a bunch of like length.
But the thing is, I think this year is like, I think this is the year where like the front office really like comes to that like consensus decision of who they're gonna build around. I think this is the final fucking chance they're giving Jalen Green to show that he can be one of their like core players.
Well, they're gonna trade him.
Maybe not trade him immediately, but just like I think they have a plan for like I think Şengün and Reed is in the 2, and then I think they have like one more guy. They're gonna be like these guys we're just gonna build around them.
What about Thompson?
Yeah, Thompson. I guess
it's either Men or Jabari.
It's either him or Jalen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a Men or Jalen. Like I'm just saying, like this is the year they're gonna come to that decision. Like, did he show us something that could like? Is he gonna be more than a? Well, he wasn't as inefficient last year, but is he gonna be more than a slightly efficient, high volume scorer? Is he gonna show us more dimension to his game, or is he just gonna stay the same and just
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, though?
Yeah. Tier 3.
Yeah, I'm in tier 3.
I think they're better than Golden State.
So in a playing game, you would go Rockets over Golden State?
I mean, they're gonna have I think they're gonna have a better record than them.
Okay, I can see that.
So they might like, in theory, like have a better chance of making the playoffs.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah, so
I can see it.
Portland, they added Klingon, Avdia. They cut Devontae Graham, which is just heartbreaking. Devontae can't even make a roster spot on the Portland Trailblazers.
To be fair, they are like
they're guard heavy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they stopped Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, but he also got the Spurs didn't even want him either. So man, Devontae, bro, oh my god, he used to average 20 points for us, bro.
Hella inefficient, but yeah.
Dude, he had some awesome game winners though. Oh my god,
nah, you did.
That was a fun year.
No room at all. Bro cannot get to the rim.
I think it's time we have the Scoot conversation here.
Oh, I was just about to say that shit. You can start it.
Look, man, I think he's really inefficient. He turns the ball over way too much. But we saw flashes last year of like good play.
Sure, yeah.
Over his last 13 games, he averaged 19, 8, 2 threes a game. He shot 39% from 3. Yeah, it's on Portland. Like they're very bad. Like so he's gonna have like every opportunity to run the show there, and they have like decent shooters around him. I think he's gonna play good this year.
Good or better?
I can definitely see it.
Like, okay,
Give me his stat line prediction.
he's not Brandon Miller, obviously. So let's just get that out of the way. He's not going to be better than Brandon Miller either. Like Brandon Miller's better than him, and he always probably will be. But Scoot, I think, could be a good NBA player. He's gonna log a ton of minutes. His usage is gonna be up there. Average like 16, 6 and 6. I don't know. No, 6 and 4. I think he's gonna play good this year.
I probably have him closer to like 14, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, that's fine. I could probably see him. I can see him like shooting like low 40% from the field, though. Probably like low 30s from 3, maybe.
Well, once the trade deadline hits and they get rid of some of these guys, like Ayton, Simmons is probably gone this year.
I hope he
Grant's probably gone. Like they have a bunch of guys they can trade. Once the trade deadline hits and they get rid of some of these other guys, I think he's gonna like average like 20 points.
That's definitely possible.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think last year it was like his rookie year. I just think he was like he felt uncomfortable when he was playing. Like he was like unsure of what he was doing a lot of the time. So I think like year 2 he's gonna feel a lot more confident in what he's doing. So
horrible hoop trip as well.
You what?
The goggles are.
Oh yeah.
That hoop trip is so bad.
Yeah. The goggles are not it.
And then the long socks too. Like
that shit was nasty. That shit was nasty. Tier 4.
And no cut.
Yeah, no cut.
I think they're easily the worst team in the conference.
Yeah.
Sacramento. I've seen some people overrate this team. I've seen some people underrate this team. Honestly, bro, I feel like we all feel the same way. If we're being honest, this DeMar DeRozan move, this shit doesn't move me at all. Like, at all. I'm not moved whatsoever. Just because, how is that going to work? Like, how is that going to work?
Like, offensively?
He's just better than Harrison Barnes.
Oh, okay, but
are you talking about offensively?
Okay, it'll work, but how is it going to mesh well enough for them to like be better than?
I think they think that it raises their floor as a team, but their ceiling's still the same. Like,
yeah, like they're not. What? It was just like a what the fuck move to me. I was like,
I think they just had to like do something.
I mean, it's not like they couldn't have really like done much better in terms of like raising their ceiling. Like,
I mean, they couldn't get Paul George, so
I don't think they were gonna get Paul George anyways.
Oh, he doesn't want to go to fucking Sacramento.
All right, come on, that's a nice place to live.
Sure. I just like who else could they have gotten that would have been either better than DeMar or just like a better overall fit that would have like significantly raised their ceiling. But I don't think there's anyone that could have done that. So I mean, I don't think getting him was a bad decision or anything. And they also didn't give up like a lot. Like you still have most of your key players. I'm
just saying the move doesn't move me. Like I'm just saying, I was just saying before, people are saying like this makes them this makes them that now. It doesn't change shit for me. I still think they're a first rounder, like tough first round, maybe squeeze by, get to the second round, easy second round out. Like, bro, the play styles don't mesh.
But honestly, that's better than what they've ever done. Like when they made the playoffs, they lost in the first round. But I mean, last year they were a playing team, and that was like.
You think they can win a playoff series this year?
No.
You said they can win a playoff series?
Well, Aaron said that.
What? It depends. Once again, I think the entire like West is all dependent. Like the playoffs are all dependent on matchups. Like if you match up with the right team, you can beat them and get further along than like what your talent says.
Honestly, looking at like the teams, the only time I could see them that would like reasonably make
just look at the list right here. This is our this is like basically our playoffs right here. Are they beating any of these teams? No.
I only see them being the Pelicans.
I think they're tier 3 for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have them tier 3 as well. They're definitely tier 3. I just like what does DeMar like besides his mid-range scoring, what does DeMar DeRozan like give you that? Like at least Harrison Barnes. Well, I'm not gonna say he could spread the floor, but he was shooting threes on a regular volume. DeMar's not gonna do that. He's gonna stop the ball and take the ball out of De'Aaron's hands, which you don't want. So you're not maximizing DeMar and then Sabonis as well. Like you'd rather have the ball in Sabonis' hand because he's probably their best playmaker. So what the fuck?
I mean, he just I guess he just gives them an extra like playmaker on the court, like someone that can do something with the ball. Because now you have three, like arguably four, like playmakers on like you could have in the court, like with Malik Monk also. So I mean, I think their offense can like be really good.
I think they'll have a good offense, but I don't. Yeah, it's just not good enough to like change where they are, change their tier basically. Like they're still in the same tier. They haven't changed at all.
Yeah, they are.
I agree.
Tier 3.
Our very last team this episode, we're talking about you guys see all down here, our Eastern Conference. We're doing tiers for them next episode. So this is gonna get posted first, East second. So stay tuned for that. Utah. Utah. Okay. They're clearly rebuilding. They have a ton of picks and young guys. I feel like the past few years they've been like decent until the trade deadline. Then they like trade guys away and they just get worse. I feel like it's gonna be like that again. I feel like they're not gonna be awful to start the year. Obviously Markkanen's like, I don't know. Where do you guys put them? Top 30?
I say top 30, yeah.
Top 30, sure.
Keontae George, I like. Sexton, it's fine. Hendricks is interesting. John Collins at center is not good. Starting center is not good.
After John Collins got dunked on last year, it's like he's like just like been erased from my brain for real. Like no one talked about John Collins after that shit.
I do like Will Hardy as a coach. This is not an awful team, like I said, but
the West is too tough.
Yeah, they have no chance to make the play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Neither should they even try to. Like they should just try to.
I don't think they're tier 4 though.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they're bad.
About that tier 3 was like they can win a playoff series. Oh wait, or
no, they're just not bad.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're better than the Spurs and Trailblazers easily.
Easily?
Are they in the same tier as like the Kings and the Pelicans though?
Yeah. They're at the bottom of tier 3, but I just don't like. I don't think they're bad.
What?
I think they're closer to tier 4 than tier 3.
Yeah.
I think
tier 3.
That's fair, I guess.
Right. Honestly, I would have just traded Laurie. I mean, no, but like he's like somewhat winning you games, so you can't maximize your rebuild. So what are you doing?
Yeah, but he's like a great asset though. You can't just like. What were the Warriors offering?
I'm not even saying the Warriors trade. I'm just talking about in general. You could have found something better.
Well, they can't trade him until like next year, I think, because of his contract.
This next season.
Yeah.
So I'll concede tier 4. Like I don't.
Yeah, I think they're tier 4.
Top of tier 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Bro, this dude in my class, unrelated. This dude was talking about how he used to love watching his Utah Jazz. Now they suck. He's correct. What? Dude that sits next to me in algebra.
What era is he talking about?
He's talking about like the Gobert, Donovan Mitchell teams.
Oh.
He was like, yeah, we had Royce O'Neal, dude. Like, Like, yeah, y'all suck, man. Yeah.
That's a nasty name pool. Could have said anybody else.
Nah, he was just talking about that. Shout out that dude if he was watching. Yeah. That's gonna wrap up our West tiering. This is our final. I know we're gonna get screenshotted, but don't. Some of these don't blame me on. Like, I think. All right.
This is a good tier list. What are you talking
about? Yeah, but okay. If we were to get like screenshotted, I think Minnesota is the one that could really hurt us if they make the finals.
Not really.
I don't think so.
Yeah, anyone who thinks this is a horrible place to put is just a salty Minnesota fan.
It's controversial. I will say.
Not really.
I just think the Thunder, Mavericks, and Lakers can like all like take care of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Any other ones? I mean, there's surprises every year though, so I'm trying to think of. I mean, maybe the Rockets are really good.
There's a surprise. I think it'd be Memphis in tier 2. Like maybe they make a Western Conference Finals or something.
I was just about to say. I think if they play at their best, everybody plays really well. They could be tier 1.
Yeah.
I just don't think it'll happen, but
yeah,
like it's a possibility.
I think we're pretty safe here. Make sure you guys like, comment, share the channel, and as always, until next time.